All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain a little bit. We're not just looking at financial advice itself, but the strategy behind making it compelling and, actually stick. We're basically deconstructing the playbook for what makes a financial script truly great.
I mean, you've probably asked yourself this before, right? You're looking for real help, and what you find is either so boring it could put you to sleep, or it feels like you're about to get roped into some kind of scam. It's a huge problem, but some people are actually getting it right.
So that's what we're doing here. We're going to take a deep dive into a really successful 30-minute long script about increasing your credit card limit. We're going to pull out the exact formula, the little psychological tricks that make it work so well.
So, first things first, where does a great script begin? Well, it doesn't start with numbers or charts or interest rates. No. It starts by connecting on a human level, by tapping into a very real, very tangible emotion. Just listen to this phrasing. It's so simple, so relatable, and it immediately hits a massive pain point. The person watching this instantly thinks, wow, that is exactly my problem. That's not an accident, you guys. That's a very calculated emotional hook. And once they have you hooked, the script starts to weave in these 4 core psychological triggers. It plays on our fear of messing things up, our deep desire for more financial freedom, our curiosity for those secret tips, and that sense of pride we get when we feel financially responsible. But here's the thing, it's not just throwing these emotions at a wall to see what sticks. Oh no. There is a specific, repeatable formula at work here that guides the viewer through this whole emotional journey. And here is that winning formula. It's so simple, yet so powerful. First, you introduce the fear of making mistakes and staying stuck. Then you offer a sense of control by giving them clear, practical knowledge. And finally, you leave them feeling empowered to actually go out and do something with that knowledge. And this is the knockout punch. This concluding message completely flips the script. Suddenly, the problem isn't your salary, something you might not be able to change. The solution is your behavior, which is something you absolutely can control. That's what real empowerment feels like.
Okay, so you've hooked them. They're emotionally invested, but that's useless if they don't trust you. So the next step is all about building a persona of trust, and that's where the delivery becomes just as critical as the information itself.
The production notes for the host literally lay it out like this. On the left, you've got all the stuff that makes people tune out. A robotic voice speaking way too fast. But on the right, that's the goal. A calm, confident tone with really structured, intentional pacing. You have to remember, people looking for financial advice want stability, and this kind of delivery provides that feeling. And this is a super important point. Silence becomes a powerful tool. A little pause right before a key statement forces you to lean in. A pause right after lets the idea sink in. It's the difference between just hearing something and actually getting it. Okay, listen to how this works in practice. Credit card limit is not about salary. It's about trust. You hear that? That tiny little pause completely changes the feel of that sentence. It turns a simple statement into a profound truth, and it makes it way more memorable. All right, so building trust is one thing, but keeping someone's attention for a full 30 minutes, that is a whole other level of challenge. This next part is all about the specific tactics used to keep the audience completely locked in. So the script is literally engineered with these things called retention hooks. You can think of them like mini cliffhangers. They're little questions or promises that get dropped in every few minutes to kind of jolt you back to attention and make you curious again. They're built specifically to fight off our wandering minds. This is a perfect example, and they use it right in the introduction. It creates what's called an open loop in your brain. You just have to know what that mistake is. It promises a big payoff for sticking around, and it's a super effective way to keep people watching. Beyond just those hooks, the script also uses these really smart tone shifts. See, even a confident voice can get boring if it's monotonous. So it changes. The intro is emotional. When explaining how banks think, it's calm and logical. For the strategies, it's confident. When talking mistakes, it gets a bit more serious. And the ending, purely motivational. It keeps the whole thing feeling fresh. And now we come to the final pillar, which you could argue is the most important one of all: radical simplicity. You see, the best financial content doesn't show off how smart the creator is. It shows off how simply they can explain complicated stuff. I mean, look at this. This is the principle in action. Instead of hitting you with scary jargon like credit utilization ratio, the script just breaks it down into a real-world example. It's so much easier to understand, and more importantly, it's something you can actually do. Clarity builds confidence.
But the strategy isn't just about the words. The production plan for this script absolutely demands that the big ideas are backed up with strong visuals. The goal is to turn these abstract numbers and concepts into something you can see and understand instantly. So instead of just telling you to use 30 to 40% of your limit, they show you. A simple chart like this one communicates the ideal balance in a split second. You can actually see the concept, which helps it stick in your brain way better.
It's the same idea for something like improving your credit score. A bar chart like this is perfect. It shows you exactly where you are and gives you a clear goal to aim for. Those rising bars just create this great feeling of progress and achievement. And for the flip side, the things you should not do, the script uses the universal language of a warning. You see a red icon, you immediately know. Pay attention, this is important. It taps into our basic psychology to make the warnings feel urgent. So, to wrap it all up, the producer's playbook really boils down to these 4 things. 1, start with a real human emotion. 2, build a persona of trust through your delivery. 3, actively engineer engagement with hooks and shifts in tone. And 4, above all else, make everything as simple and clear as possible. And really, that leaves us with one last big question to think about. It's easy to just throw information out there, but the best content does so much more. It creates an experience, one that takes someone from feeling uncertain and stuck to feeling like they are truly in control.